Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm on the cliffs of Miloli whipping, and the reason I'm whipping is I brought my dive gear and it was too rough. The water was not safe for me to jump in. You can see the white water out there and you can see the churn. It's a lot rougher than what it looks, and you see me reeling and then all of a sudden stopping, and that's because my reel is jamming. I wanted to slap myself in the head because I did not check my reel before I went down to the water. I was just focused on my dive gear, and the pole was a backup, and it just kept getting stuck. So it was really hard to fish. I tried to make do, but what's happening is, oh, I had a bite, but especially when the water is really churning, if you let it sit on the bottom, just the surge just starts wrapping the leader up, and you get stuck a lot. So I'm trying to bring it in, and I'm getting some bites, but nothing yet. And this day, I lost a lot of lead and hooks. I did get hung up a lot. Um, it was pretty disappointing. And to make a long story short, is afterwards we took the reel apart, and the shaft is bent. Don't know how that happened. Probably have to buy a new one. I was thinking maybe I can bend it back, but decided to see if I'd stay out there and make the most of it. So I'm using Eka for bait, and I'm using a 3/4 ounce lead sinker. And I shortened my leader because I had a hard time reeling it in, and so I didn't want too much line out in the water to get stuck. So what I'm doing here, it's because I couldn't reel it in at a nice even pace, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna drag the bottom. So I would let it sit when the reel jams, and let the weight hit the ground, and then force the to crank through. We can see a big splash there, and then reel it in. So I'm just moving it across the bottom. And again, this isn't the best way to fish. I had to make do with my gear, and I'm hooked up. And it's really hard to reel in because as I'm not getting a consistent reel because the reel keeps locking up. So it's not exactly the smoothest technique, but making do with broken equipment. And that's my fault for not checking um, before I went out, but there's nothing much I could have done anyway because the shaft is bent. So I'm going to have to get a new reel. So I'm bringing it in. It's all the way to the edge, and let's see what it is. And it's a small gray humu humu, or triggerfish. So I threw that guy back and gave it another shot. So again, letting the lead hit the bottom, cranking until the reel freezes, and then I'm using my palm to try to push to unstick the jam. And so what's happening is, since the shaft is bent, you can reel it until the bent shaft points at a specific angle, which I think is up towards me. So what I'm doing at that point is then you kind of force it through. There you can see it kind of gets stuck there, and I have to really use force to unstick the jam. It was a beautiful day though. Um, you can see the clouds, And I'm hooked up, and this one's really small, so I immediately know what it is. And the reason why it looks like I'm fighting a bigger fish is because it's really hard to reel. So I know it's a Hinalea or a wrasse. You can see the waves smashing against the rocks. And there it is, little Hinalea. Gonna unhook that guy and throw him back. The clouds went away a little bit at the end, and pretty much getting ready to call it a day. It's just really too hard to fish, with a broken reel. And I didn't have a backup. And I'm hooked up. Using my left hand to lift the rod up, lift up, reel down. And I like to keep my rod perpendicular to the surface of the ocean. And I turn it at an angle, like in that case, if it starts running a certain way and I need to bring it back, so it doesn't wrap around a coral head. I can tell by the head shakes that it's another triggerfish, but it's not a very big one. So I can see color there. It's going under the little ledge, so I'm leaning over, try to get it out. It went under this ledge right at the end, so trying to time the wave action and drag it out, and I got it. It's a small humu humu ele ele, so this guy is going back. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and aloha.